Good morning, students. Today we are going to do the revision work on the lesson Union Executive. As we all have studied in the previous lesson, the three branches, the legislature, the executives, and the judiciary. So now we are going to revise on the branch executive. So the legislative branch of the government, which makes the laws for the country. Now, these laws are done what? These laws are executed by the executive branch of the government, which what task it perform with those laws of enforcing these laws, which is applied in a proper place. The Union Executive consists of which branches? The President, the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers. These are the members which consist of the Union Executive. The executive is held by a large workforce that includes civil servants who implements government policies and the police force, which ensures that the citizens follow the law. Now, let us revise about the President work. The function. President is the constitutional head of the Government of India. Underline it. Fill in the blanks or true false can be asked over it. But in a parliament form of government, the president is a nominal or symbolic head. The administration of the country is carried out in his name. The actual power is vested in the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers who advise the President. What are the basic qualifications for to become the candidate of the presidentship? He or she must be the citizen of India. He must be at least 35 years of age. He must have all the qualification necessary to be the member of the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha membership he must have. So, election and terminal. How he is elected? He means the president. The president is elected indirectly. Why? An electoral college elects the president. There is an electoral college members who elects the president. The electoral college is what? It consists of the members like the elected members of both the houses of the parliament. What are the both houses? Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. And the elected members of the state legislative assemblies also. They all are involved for the election procedure of the president. Now, all of you turn to the next page. Till this much we had done. We had also done the question answers of it. So, we will do today the revision work. The worksheet will be given to you. Do solve it. The president is elected for a period of 5 years. Now, underline it. The president can be impeached by the parliament. Impeachment is a procedure which the parliament can remove the president if he or she is found guilty of violating the constitution, of treason, or of corruption. What are the executive powers? How it can execute the president? The president appoints the prime minister, who is the leader of the majority party or coalition parties or the single largest party in the Lok Sabha. I am again repeating, the president appoints the prime minister, who is the leader of the majority party or the coalition parties or the single largest party in the Lok Sabha. The president appoints the union ministers on advice of the prime minister. The president appoints the state governors and other high officials, such as the comptroller and the auditor general and the attorney general. The president also appoints the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court and the ambassadors to other countries. The President appoints judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. It is very important, underline it. And the ambassadors to other countries also. Military powers. What are the military powers vested on the President? The President is the supreme commander of the defense forces. He or she can declare war or conclude peace also. All important treaties and contracts are made in the President's name. So, the military powers of the President is supreme commander of the defense force. He or she can declare war or conclude peace also. All important treaties and contracts are made in the President's name only. Okay. So, what are the legislative powers of the President? The President can, this chapter you are studying about the Union Executive. The President, the head, we are studying about his functions. The President can summon or probe the Parliament. He or she addresses the opening session of the Parliament every year. The President's address is a statement of government's policy. The President can also dissolve the Lok Sabha and order fresh election. He or she can call a joint session of both the houses of the Parliament if there is a deadlock. Now, each bill which is passed in the Parliament has to receive the consent, the assent of the President, which is must to become a law. Next, the President nominates 12 members to the Rajya Sabha and 2 Anglo-Indian members of the Lok Sabha. Financial powers. The budget is presented to the Parliament in the name of the President. All the money bills are introduced in the Parliament with the President's permission only. The President can grant an advance from the contingency fund. So this particular emergency fund is actually under the power of the President in case of unforeseen expenditure. If any sudden unexpected expenditure is there, that particular emergency signature can be done by the President and fund can be passed from here. So the filtration from Council of Ministers and Cabinet Minister during this emergency era is not required. Judicial powers. The President has the power to grant pardon and reduce or suspend the sentence of a person who has been found guilty. He or she can also pardon a death sentence also. President has the power to pardon the death sentence also. He or she is not answerable to any court of law or for his or her actions, except if he or she is impeached by the Parliament. If impeached by the Parliament, then he has to give the reasons, put reasons that why he has been found guilty for this particular action. Next is emergency powers of the President. Now, President can declare an emergency in the country under the following conditions. Why emergency is declared? If the security of the country is threatened by external aggression or armed rebellion, national emergency is declared. If the government of a state cannot function according to the laws of the Constitution, President's rule is imposed in that state. If the financial stability of the country is threatened, a financial emergency can also be declared. However, the President cannot declare an emergency without the approval of the Parliament. There are discretionary powers, then there is Vice President's function. We all had done. The qualification of Vice President are the same as those of President, except the Vice President should be eligible for the membership to the Rajya Sabha, and the term of Vice President is 5 years. So what is the function of the Vice President? Is the ex-officio chairperson of the Rajya Sabha. He or she takes over the functions of the President in his or her absence. Prime Minister's function now. Prime Minister is the head of the Council of Ministers, which is the most powerful political institution in India. the President of India is bound to act over it. So the Prime Minister is bound to act over the advice and according to the Council of Ministers. Now, what is the position and function of the Prime Minister? The parliament system of the government makes the Prime Minister the real head of the government of India. It is the Prime Minister who actually exercises all the powers vested to the President. This is because of the following reasons. What reasons? The Prime Minister is the elected head of the country. The Prime Minister is the leader of the majority party, yes, of the largest coalition in the parliament. So the Prime Minister is the link between the President, the people and the parliament. Prime Minister advises the President in discharge of his or her functions and informs him or her about the decisions taken by the Council of Ministers. The advice of the Prime Minister is binding on the President. The Prime Minister selects the members of the Council of Ministers. He or she distributes portfolios among the ministers and presides over the meetings of the Council of Ministers. He or she coordinates the working of the difference of the departments in the vital link between President and the Council of Ministers. And he or she can expand the Council of Ministers and also demand the resignation. Thus, Prime Minister is the real head of the nation. So, now function of the Council of Ministers, as we all had done already. Function of the Council of the Ministers. So, let us discuss about the Council of Ministers. We had already done, but let us discuss again. So, the general election of the Lok Sabha take place once every 5 years. Underline it. After the elections, the President appoints the Prime Minister, who is generally the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha. The party holding a majority of the parliament, if there is no single party, the party holding a majority in the parliament, then two or more parties usually agree to work together and form the government. This is known as the coalition government. The Prime Minister selects a number of ministers according to his or her preference and submits a list to the President. When the President approves and appoints the ministers on the list, the Council of Ministers is formed. The Council of Ministers had 3 ranks within it: the Cabinet Ministers, Ministers of State, and Deputy Ministers. So, all the ministers of the Council have to be the member of either House of the Parliament. In case of the non-member is elected, he or she has to be elected to either the House within 6 months from the date of appointment. The Prime Minister allots each minister in Council a separate department or portfolios to handle. This is called allotment of portfolios. Hence, we have a Minister of Defence, Finance, Communication, Agriculture, Foreign Affairs, etc. of the ministers. The Cabinet Ministers hold the most important portfolios and make the most important decisions and policies. So, the Cabinet Ministers hold the highest ranks and have the greatest responsibility. The Cabinet holds the real executive powers to the Indian government and is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. The Cabinet can remain in the office as long as it enjoys the confidence of the majority in Lok Sabha. If a vote of no confidence is passed against any one Cabinet Ministers, the whole Council of Ministers has to resign immediately. So, the entire Council has to answer the shortcomings of failure according to that. There are civil servants who work according to the government. They are government employees. They are appointed in Indian Administrative Service, IAS, IF, IPS. Civil servants are UPSC, examination interview. Successful candidates are trained and can work at both central and the state levels. So, these are the things which we have studied till now. So, we have already studied the Council of Ministers, their functions, the Prime Minister's function, President's function, executive powers. So do please read it and solve the worksheet today, which I will give. Thank you.